Hi everyone, it's Laura, and I hope you're all doing well. So today I wanted to give my teenage friends out there some tips for weight loss. So if you're interested, then keep watching. So tip number one is to eat as fresh as possible. So trying to stay away from anything that's processed, anything that comes in a box or a bag for the most part, and trying to focus more on foods that are alive, that if they sit out for a week, they go bad, and focusing less on processed foods. And what this will do is this will give you more energy. It'll focus your attention more on healthy foods and less on unhealthy foods. Even if foods claim to be healthy or they're low calorie, or whatever they may be, if they're processed and full of a bunch of junk, then despite how many calories they have in it, despite the fat or protein or whatnot, it's not really healthy. So I encourage you to eat as fresh as possible. Try to do the majority of your shopping from the produce section of the grocery store. And also, if you do buy something that's in a box or bag, then read the ingredients. A lot of times we look at the nutrition facts, but we forget to look at the ingredients, which in my opinion is the most important thing to look at. If you don't know what the first 5 ingredients are in the food, then don't get it, because it's packed with junk and processed crap. If any type of refined sugar is one of the first ingredients, then try to avoid it. Try to eat as fresh as possible and try to buy foods that you know what they are. Try to buy foods that primarily come from the ground, not from a factory. And tip number 2 is to be open-minded when it comes to trying new foods. Because I know when I was a teenager, that was a really big changing point for me in regards to the types of foods that I ate. And it's because I started to realize, for whatever reason as a kid, I was terrified of trying new foods. It literally gave me anxiety and stressed me out anytime my mom wanted me to try new food. It was terrifying for me. And then once I became a teenager and started experimenting with vegetarianism and started cooking a little bit more on my own, I started to realize, why am I scared of trying something new? You know, what is a bite of something I've never tried? What's the worst that can happen? You know, you don't like it. Okay, well, you don't like it. Like, it's not going to hurt you. You'll be fine unless you're allergic to it. But I really encourage you, especially when something gets set in front of you and you've never really tried it, but for whatever reason you've been scared to try it, try to overcome that fear and recognize that it's food. It's not going to reach out and bite you. And there's really nothing to be scared of. The worst case scenario, you don't like it. The best case scenario, you found another food that you enjoy and you can start incorporating it into more of your meals. So tip number 3 is to take more initiative in the kitchen. So if you're a teenager or a tween, I think is what they're being called now, somewhere between a child and a teenager, then I really challenge you to take initiative in the kitchen. If you aren't quite old enough to cook or cut or chop or whatever it may be, then just being present when people cook in the kitchen and learning. If you're someone who you can cook and your parents totally trust you in the kitchen, then actually looking up recipes, going to the grocery store, preparing meals that are healthy and fresh, and learning which foods and which meals can be your go-to meals. They can be your fallback meals if they're quick, they're easy, and you love them. And when you figure out the meals and figure out what works for you and what you genuinely enjoy, then it's quite easy to be healthy, especially when you're preparing your own food. Tip number 4 is to learn right now that being healthy, losing weight, whatever your goals may be, there's no quick fix. There's no quick fix with health. There's no quick fix with weight loss. And if there is, then it doesn't last a long time. And once you fully grasp that and understand that, then it will save you years of yo-yo dieting, years of believing that these quick fixes of lose weight in 7 days, get a flat stomach in 10 days, that all that is just complete rubbish and lies, and it's not possible unless you're just losing water weight. It's not healthy. And so learning that being healthy is a lifestyle, it's a way of living. It's not, I don't even like using the word diet because it implies that it's temporary. I like the word lifestyle because it more so suggests a long-term way of living. But learning that losing weight, being healthy, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you start today, then you're one day closer to doing it. So tip number 5 is to spend as much time as possible outside. And the reason I did this tip instead of encouraging you to be active is because typically the more time you spend outside, the more active you are. And so trying to be outside, get outside, not only is nature and fresh air good for your physical body, it's so good for your mental health. And I think it's something people don't talk about enough, is being outside and experiencing nature and not just sitting inside all the time. Not just coming home from school and vegging out on the computer, vegging out on the TV or video games or whatever it may be, but getting outside, even if you just go outside and eat your afternoon snack outside, or eating dinner outside, eating breakfast outside, whatever it may be. If in school you have the ability to eat lunch outside, really encourage you, eat lunch outside. Anytime that you can spend outside, be outside. It'll change your life, I promise, totally change your life, and encourage you to be more active. So my last tip that I wanted to talk about is when you're trying to lose weight, especially at such a young age, trying to focus less on numbers and on appearance and more on health in general and how you feel. Because the last thing that I would want for y'all is for you to spend an entire lifetime trying to lose weight. To spend an entire lifetime not being happy with your body, not being happy with the way you look. And at the end of the day, I promise you this, it does not matter. As long as you're in good health, how you look genuinely doesn't matter. And there's this quote I read a while back that's really stuck with me. And it says, this is kind of my paraphrase, but it says, if we saw souls instead of outward appearance, how different our view of beauty would be. And it is so true. And the sooner you realize that fitting into a size 4 pair of jeans at the end of the day really doesn't matter. What matters is how you love people, how you love yourself, the relationships that you have with your friends and your family and your pets. That's what matters. How you contribute to society, how you give back, how you help other people, how you help yourself. That's what matters in life. It doesn't matter if your hair is curly, if your hair is straight, if you're pale like me, if you're super tan, if you're white, black, brown, yellow, it really does not matter. And the sooner that sinks in, if I could just like instill that mindset into every child and teenager, I would. And that's my biggest message for y'all in this video is, yes, I understand wanting to get healthy. I understand maybe wanting to lose a few pounds, but please don't let that be your main focus. Let that be a secondary thing that you're trying to achieve. So I hope this video helped y'all out. Please, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me, and feel free to reach out to me on all forms of social media. Except for Facebook. I don't have Facebook. I don't like Facebook. But I'll leave all the links below. Also, check out my other videos. Feel free to subscribe if you want to know when I'm putting out new videos. And I'll be seeing you on my next video. Bye.